Hi everybody, this is Dennis from the Dennis and Andy Show, and I'm going to do a full review of Where Starships Go to Die, issues number 1 through 3 from Aftershock Comics. Mark Sable's writing it. Alberto Locatelli is doing the artwork. So let's just kind of, delve in and take a look. So this takes place in the future. So once again, it's like a dystopian Earth. Something happening. The world's dying. We find out a little bit, but then this project, Daedalus, which is one of the crafts that had been sent to go to a distant star. They're trying to find a planet that's inhabitable. Something goes wrong on its return to Earth, and it crashes at Point Nemo, Earth. Cool thing I like about that right away is the fact that that is a real place on Earth where like our satellites and stuff actually go, which I believe it's off of east of New Zealand, I believe. So I do love the fact that when they do a little research and find out something cool, and then the story. So then there's this astronaut who apparently was supposed to be on it and somehow didn't make the cut or got left behind, whatever. So he's not been very happy. So she recruits him and basically says, yeah, the Daedalus is returned back to Earth, and when it crashed, it kind of crashed all together. So she basically hires him and says that they have a crew, and they go down and they find this. We find out that they had launched like spaceships in earlier years. Like here's one from the Confederacy during the Civil War. So then they crack that open and find that there's a perfectly preserved body. So it's like, well, that's interesting. So the whole concept is pretty interesting from the start. And then all of a sudden we find out that, he winds up being somehow alive. And, was he animated? We don't really know. All we know is we saw something happen. So very intriguing start. And then we kind of pick up and, basically saying they're on their way to the waters, and they've got a lead on the American and Chinese Navy. So they start finding the history, and once again, there's a little bit of some interesting stuff as they go through and find out about, what would happen during the Confederacy and what was going on. So the story is actually really cool. These astronauts, these men that were sent up in there, one of them kind of went nuts. So how was he wound up being alive? So anyway, they're still looking for the Daedalus, and then we can see these are the new versions of the American Navy that's coming. They wind up finding, they're like, oh, screw that. It winds up being like a Nazi ship. So we see some Nazis. So we're starting to look at World War II era where they wind up finding an old one. The United States Navy shows up, tells them to surrender, and they're boarded the vessel, and we can see things don't go so well. And all of a sudden, the crew starts trying to take out the American Navy, and the astronauts like, whoa, 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 wait, what are you guys doing? Don't do that kind of stuff. And he goes, oh my God, you actually hired pirates. And then we can see, we've got an interesting concept of the alien. So the whole point of going through this is I'm not going to give you the entire story. I just want to see if it piques your interest, and then you can run out and pick up these issues if you haven't already. Back to Point Nemo. They're trying to prevent them from being boarded. So the alien, whatever these are, we're assuming they're aliens of some sort. They wind up taking us over. And they're taking parts of the crew. They've got some of the original crew from World War II. And it looks like they're going to be fired upon by China. See, and they find another one. This one is a Soviet era. And they wind up boarding this one while the stuff's going on up above. They find another crew, but these people died of old age naturally. They were supposed to be going to Mars. They find a really cool, I love this, is very retro. back from that technology. They have recordings of what's going on. We find out there's a nuclear warhead. Anyway, they kind of go through the entire story, and then they find out that it's once again, the aliens that are coming for. So you guys got a little look at the artwork. I think the artwork's pretty good. I like the stylized setting. The covers actually drew me in. The title. So anyway, it was enough to get me to wanna pick up these the first 3 issues. Now let's talk, the good, the bad, the ugly. The good is the premise. I think is an absolutely fantastic premise. Once again, the Earth's dying, which is, it's almost becoming a trope. But I do love the fact that, we had already sent out a ship, the Daedalus. And I think this is just a beautiful drawing. I love the artwork, that's in this. So then the concept's cool. They've retrieved it. The Earth's waiting, for all this great information to come back. Can we go to this other planet? I think it was in Betelgeuse. And be successful? Can we live there? And it all goes to heck. So the concept is really cool. The fact that there's a salvage yard and that they use something that's realistic today was also pretty cool. I love the fact that, they're tying all of this together. The concept makes me want to keep reading. Now, the problem is with the story is once we got the cool reveal of the aliens, I don't know if the aliens were necessary. So far, they kind of feel like an after effect. They were revealed in issue 2, which was cool. But now, where does it go? What are these aliens about? Why are they here? Why are they stopping us? Is this a coincidence? What's going on? We don't know. And we find out nothing more in this one. So number 3 is where we should get all the info. And we still don't. Interesting. But it feels like a fish out of water a little bit right now, kind of flopping. So I do want to see where it goes. I think it was executed all right, except for the alien part. So I want to see where the story continues because I think it has enough of a cool, interesting storyline to really take us somewhere. And I don't want to call this a filler issue because it's not like Marvel and DC where we get a cool story and then a bunch of filler and then we get a cool story. I'm hoping this isn't a filler issue because we really need to move the story forward. But we will see. Overall, this isn't a bad series. It's pretty good. I just think they could have done a lot more with it. I'm going to give this one a 6.5. This could go up or go down depending on how the story continues. I think it's at a tipping point right now. There's some really good stuff. There's some things not so good. And it could shift either way, depending on which way the teeter-totter goes. So anyway, I hate to put it in those terms, but it's got potential, and I'm hopeful. So with that being said, leave your comments below. Maybe you agree with me, maybe you don't. Maybe you love it or hate it, but definitely leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. Make sure you guys smash the like and subscribe button. That way you know when we put out the quick flips and these. And then when we have our guest stars on, I think we've got Bud Root coming up on this Wednesday. And also check out Kor-Drath The Reckoning, the book that we're putting out. And I'll leave the link down below for the sign-up page for the newsletter. So anyway, leave your comments below, and I look forward to talking to you all soon. Thanks.